Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa has welcomed the International Court of Justice's judgment on the war between Israel and Hamas.
I thank all in the international community, and there have been millions of people around the world who have supported our application, including a number of countries who have declared their intention to be part of our application to the International Court of Justice. We will not waver in our commitment to the Palestinian people and their quest for self-determination. Our own painful history obliges us to do no less. We thank the International Court of Justice for upholding its role of achieving justice, promoting peace, preventing genocide, and holding those responsible for genocide to be accountable.
And we continue with the ICJ story, and for more on this, we're now joined by legal analyst Modidima Mannya, and he joins us via our video link. Modidima, thank you so much for joining us this evening, sir, on SABC News. Perhaps let's start off here. What is your reaction to the news coming out from the ICJ this evening?
Yes, good evening. I think the first thing, one must congratulate the President and the government of the Republic of South Africa for this bold move. This is a serious humanitarian exercise, and we must rally behind the government and those progressive forces around the world who wants humanity to be respected, who wants people's human rights to be respected. So I'm ecstatic, I'm very happy. Whatever the provisional measures that the ICJ has given have got a very significant meaning to the people of the Palestine.
And when it comes to that order and a number of people questioning, the stance from the ICJ, one thing that South Africa was asking for is that immediate humanitarian ceasefire. And of course, we didn't get that today. But what we did get is indeed the interim measures which have been placed to the Israeli government. Why do you think that this court decided to take this route, even though, in a nutshell, it's sort of saying that, this humanitarian ceasefire is something that is needed? We continue then with reaction on the ICJ ruling. And of course, now we are joined by legal analyst Modidima Mannya, and he now joins us via our telephone line. Modidima, thank you so much for joining us once again. Perhaps let's start off right from the top, just to get your reaction on today's ruling.
Yes, as I said, we must congratulate and commend the President and the government of the Republic of South Africa. They took a bold decision to assert humanity, human rights, and international law. This judgment is very significant and is historic. In fact, if you read the other judgments of the International Court of Justice, this is probably the most profound judgment that you can find. So it's actually a very good victory for humanity, for international law, and for human rights generally, and the people of the Palestine.
And, taking a look at the judgment itself coming out today, Modidima, one would ask that, South Africa did ask for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire, but this court did not really grant South Africa that request, but of course demanded for the people of Palestine to have access to humanitarian aid. Why do you think that this court navigated this ruling in this manner to not hand down a judgment on that immediate humanitarian ceasefire?
Yes, I think it would be very dangerous to single out what the court didn't order and not consider the cumulative effect of what the court ordered. Firstly, the court pronounced on the basis of the Genocide Convention, which means at face value, the court says there is genocidal behavior. So you cannot say, the court didn't say you must have a humanitarian ceasefire. The court has asserted a number of rights of the people of the Palestine, and that is what is significant. As a lawyer, I can tell you, you go to court, you can ask for 5 orders from the court. The court may not grant you that, but grant you something that seeks to achieve the same objective that you are seeking. So this is a major victory for the peoples who are progressive and who are anti the abuses that are happening in the Palestine. So it's a very significant victory. You know, not to have access to water, not to have access to medication, not to be abused on a daily basis is a gross violation of human rights. And to the extent that the court has even imposed a reporting requirement by Israel. The state of Israel must report, including to South Africa, on the implementation of the measures. The order is enforceable, and all countries which are signatories have the right to enforce the order. So you cannot underplay the significance of this order by even the lowest standard.
And what is your analysis to those quarters that say, well, this is a blow to the ANC government, essentially saying that one of those orders, which we're talking about now, the immediate humanitarian ceasefire, this is something that, the South African government did not obtain?
Well, as I say, the South African government has achieved a historic feat in the arena of international law. You know, we can be anti-ANC or anti-South African government or whatever the case may be. The fact of the matter is, as we speak, the International Court of Justice has ordered the state of Israel, for instance, to allow the people of the Palestine access to basic necessities, which is the fundamental of human rights.
And when it comes... Yes, you can continue, sorry.
No, I'm done.
Okay, I was saying that when it comes to that report back by the Israeli government, and of course we heard from the court saying that they need to report back in at least a month. Do you think when it comes to this order, this is a way for the ICJ to hold the Israeli government accountable?
Yes, by the way, one of the arguments which the state of Israel gave was that their Attorney General is considering whether there are violations of the law. And the court said, well, we appreciate that, but that's with the humanitarian crisis. The court has said there is a humanitarian crisis. The very basis of the provisional orders is to ameliorate the impact of the humanitarian crisis in Israel. But the reporting requirement is to enable the South African government or any interested party to go back to the court and say the state of Israel is non-compliant. If the state of Israel is compliant, it will appear from the report and it will have to be verified. So, as I say, this is quite a very serious issue.
And when it comes to international law and looking at a ruling of this nature, what would you say this essentially means here broadly, especially when we are dealing here with acts of genocide and claims by Israel?
Look, this is a big blow to the supporters of this brutal state of Israel, because it's repositioning the conduct across the globe, that people now understand that the fact that you are a so-called superpower, you cannot, in total defiance of the principles of international law, support this kind of thing. The United States must put her head in shame, because here is an international tribunal that says, effectively, it says you are supporting something that is horrible. You know, so that's significant in the sense that countries who believe that the state of Israel is right must now bow their head in shame. The International Court of Justice, with a significant majority, by the way, there has never been in that judgment any order that the court granted which had got 3 dissenters in the maxima. That was the maxima. So in most instances it was 15-2, 14-3, 16-1, which is quite significant, I must say.
All right, Modidima, thank you so much for that insight. That is Modidima Mannya, legal analyst.